We are back. So, hey everybody. In the previous video, we talked about the benefits of Docker Compose comparing to the K8s. Like I mentioned, Kubernetes is usually more complex. When we're trying to do what we're trying talking here again to try to clarify things is to make sure that you understand that when you're doing like a small AI project, just use Docker Compose. When you're trying to deploy them into make them into the production scale, move them to the Kubernetes. And guys, it's not really complicated to deploy like your AI agent once you have it in Docker Compose working to the Kubernetes, because you can just use the same Docker file and then try to deploy it in a Kubernetes. So it's not a really it's not like a really huge thing. And you might be like, hey, like how do I move it, or like how do I migrate it? It's actually really not complicated. It's very, very easy. Once you have your Kubernetes set up, all you're going to do is just deploy your image to the K8 cluster that you have, the Docker image. Now, we talked about this table here. We're going to come back to the next slides and try to wrap this up really quick. Easy integration with AI tools. We talked about this. Compose integrates easily with AI components like Ollama, run the local models. And I mentioned that you guys saw that app here. The Ollama, where I'm serving my AI models. And then Chroma vector database, which is here, that uses the Ollama uses it to retrieve some relevant information, the vector database for retrieval. FastAPI, lightweight AI agent server. So FastAPI, you guys been seeing, it's really like a friend to me now because I've been using FastAPI for most of my projects. Very easy to understand. I'm more of a systems engineer, Linux administrator background person, and FastAPI was really nice to play with. So that's why I've been trying to stick to this. Grafana and Prometheus, system observability. For this project number 3, I've actually added those two pieces. You guys didn't see this for the other projects, so you're gonna see the other videos, and I'm looking forward. And I'm gonna go more deeper into that. Each service is isolated, reproducible, and restartable. You can rebuild specific containers without touching others. In fact, in Docker Compose, there's commands, CLI commands that you can run and just troubleshoot specific container within the Compose. So, for example, I can do like Docker logs, Docker Compose logs, just for specific containers if there's failing. In fact, an API seems like turned off right now, but yeah, I can just spin on and off and whatever containers I need to troubleshoot. Example: update your LLM version in seconds while keeping Chroma's data safe. So like this is another thing. So for example, I need to update the version of my LLM. I can just do that in seconds and really quickly troubleshoot that as well. Real benefits for AI engineers. Why Docker Compose belongs in every AI engineer's toolkit. Modular architecture. Isolate AI agents, databases, and APIs. Consistency. Runs the same on every machine. Security controls, can add like environment and network isolation. So security controls, I've shared other documents. Please go over that and try to secure your environments. Let's be part of the building responsible AI agents work. Observability, you guys have seen that a pair with Prometheus and Grafana. I've mentioned that, so we can quickly add like something like a quick monitoring, small monitoring, and then just test our app on APM, like application performance monitoring, and so, or like observability. Focus on AI, not infrastructure. Spend time training and deploying, not debugging Kubernetes YAMLs. I love this. So focus on AI, right? The whole idea is try to focus on AI, on our AI agents. We don't want to dig into something other, some kind of a rabbit hole or yak shaving, and then not be able to come back to what we're doing. We want to spend time more on our AI agents, and when it comes and when it's ready, then we're gonna move into the infrastructure, which is the Kubernetes, right? EKS, AKS, or GKE. Docker Compose bridges the gap between AI experimentation and production deployment. So what we want to make sure is that we want to start very simple, not over engineer. As I mentioned before, guys, the rule number 1 is simplicity. The rule number 2, don't over engineer. At Remoder, we use it to teach engineers how to design real-world AI systems fast, secure, and scalable. As I mentioned before, basically, Remoder is a project where we basically work on AI agents, and I mentioned this pneumonia detection AI agent, financial advisor AI agent, and multi-model AI agents. These biggest three that we have, and all these three been built on the Docker Compose. So what we do here is that we stick to Docker Compose, and then we actually teach the K8s as well. But K8s comes as the last thing, because usually you want to make sure that the person gets the idea on how to work with the LLMs, and then they can take it to the production and much more professional scale. So lastly, if you have any questions, please contact me. You can find our Remoder LinkedIn. So we are on LinkedIn. My name is Sanjar, and I'm a I've been posting these things, these posts and documents. I've been sharing these documents. Please feel free to use these documents and bring them to your organization. Use them when you're doing your work on AI agents. And if you want more information about the kind of how to work with these AI agents and how to deploy them, please reach out to me. If you're in an organization and you would like to kind of bring this to your organization, we do work with the organizations and companies as well. So we come into the companies and work with them to trying to train their staff on the agentic AI. And so we can work on that level as well. So we work on an individual basis. We have a master AI deployment course, but we also work with on an organizational level, where we like to come in and then try to work with the team and try to let them understand how this whole AI works, LLMs, agentic AI, and then help them try to get into the space. And so one of the projects we do is very simple projects, is the I wouldn't call it that simple actually, pneumonia detection AI agent, which takes the x-ray of a person and sees whether that person has a probability of pneumonia. The another is a financial advisor. So for example, you enter your age, number, the finance that you have, and it gives you potential, like, hey, put this much to the stocks, hey, put this much to so on and so forth. And yeah, so that kind of AI agents. And then we have a multi-model AI agent where you can do different, like a general stuff. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. This was really quick on why do we use Docker Compose compared to Kubernetes when I'm doing my AI workloads locally. And it's just a really quick way, very easy. And I love this part where it mentions about 20% of simplicity. It's just a really much more simple. It's much more scalable and really quick. So please use this. It's right here. Docker Compose gives 80% of the functionality with 20% of the complexity. It's so true. It's just the functionality is just much more. You get a really big functionality with a lot of very less of complexity. So let's stick to the try to develop with the Docker Compose, build more cool stuff, and then bring it to the Kubernetes and just boom, deploy it in our productions systems. Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Thank you. Bye.